Days of Our Lives. Suitable gift that ISA rewards Dr. Mark after betraying EJ. Hello, and welcome back to the Days of Our Lives channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most explosive developments to shake Salem in recent memory, the stunning revelation that Dr. Mark Green has accepted an irresistible offer from the ISA, one so valuable and compelling that it has driven him to undertake the dangerous mission of infiltrating EJ DiMera's inner circle. This isn't just any assignment. Mark has agreed to risk everything, including his freedom and possibly his life, to become a covert operative spying on one of Salem's most powerful and ruthless figures. The reward package the ISA has dangled before Mark is nothing short of extraordinary, a combination of incentives so powerful that the disgraced doctor simply couldn't walk away, despite the terrifying risks involved in betraying someone as vindictive as EJ DiMera. The impossible offer: what could make Mark risk everything? The question burning in every viewer's mind is simple yet profound. What exactly has the ISA promised Mark Green that would compel him to accept such a perilous assignment? Sources close to the investigation suggest that the reward package is multifaceted and addresses every desperate need the former physician currently faces. First and foremost, the ISA has apparently guaranteed Mark a complete restoration of his medical license through their powerful governmental connections, a prize that seemed absolutely impossible just weeks ago when he was rotting behind bars in Statesville. For a man whose entire identity and life purpose revolved around his medical career, this alone represents an almost priceless gift. But the rewards don't stop there. Whispers throughout Salem indicate that the ISA has also offered Mark complete immunity from any future prosecution related to his attempted murder of Chad DiMera, along with witness protection for his entire family should the situation with EJ turn deadly. Furthermore, financial compensation rumored to be in the six-figure range would allow Mark to rebuild his shattered life from the ground up. Perhaps most tantalizing of all, the ISA has allegedly promised to leverage their international resources to permanently neutralize the Clyde Weston threat that has hung over the Green family like a dark storm cloud, finally freeing Mark's mother Katharina from the constant danger that originally drove him to his desperate actions. From convicted felon to secret agent, Mark's stunning transformation. Just a short time ago, Mark Green's future looked bleaker than a Salem winter night. Imprisoned in the notorious Statesville facility for his role in the attempt on Chad DiMera's life, the once respected physician had fallen from grace in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. His medical license had been permanently revoked, his reputation lay in tatters throughout the medical community, and his family name had been dragged through the mud in the most public way possible. Even the compassionate efforts of Jennifer Horton and Jack Devereaux, who wrote impassioned pardon petitions on Mark's behalf and attempted to block his premature release out of concern for community safety, couldn't fully restore what had been lost. Yet here we are witnessing an almost miraculous reversal of fortune orchestrated by the shadowy intelligence agency known only as the ISA. Mark's unexpected release from prison wasn't simply good luck or bureaucratic error, it was the first move in a carefully calculated chess game being played at the highest levels of government intelligence. Shane Donovan, the legendary ISA veteran who has seen and survived more international intrigue than most people could imagine in their wildest dreams, personally identified Mark Green as the perfect candidate for a delicate infiltration operation. Mark possesses the unique combination of scientific expertise, desperate motivation, family connections to existing ISA asset Cat Green, and most crucially, legitimate reasons to seek employment in EJ DiMera's organization, all without raising the district attorney's naturally suspicious nature. Kat's crucial role: sister-turned-handler in dangerous game. Mark's sister Cat Green has been operating as an ISA asset for considerably longer than most Salem residents realize, working closely with both Shane Donovan and Police Commissioner Rafe Hernandez on a sensitive investigation into EJ DiMera's recent activities. The timing of Mark's recruitment is no coincidence. Cat has been desperately trying to penetrate the inner workings of EJ's mysterious new venture at University Hospital but has repeatedly hit brick walls and dead ends. Her attempts at surveillance have yielded tantalizing clues, including photographs of a highly secured room with sophisticated keypad entry systems that EJ dismissed as merely a medicine storage area, a laughably transparent lie that only confirmed Kat's suspicions that something far more sinister was being concealed. When Mark first returned to Salem following his prison release, Kat encouraged him to approach EJ about employment opportunities at the hospital, though she couldn't have predicted how perfectly this would align with the ISA's objectives. Now Kat finds herself in the complex position of serving as her own brother's handler in an espionage operation, a role that fills her with both hope and dread. She understands better than anyone how dangerous EJ can be when he discovers betrayal, and the thought of her brother facing that wrath keeps her awake at night. Yet the ISA's generous reward package for Mark, and the promised protection for their entire family, makes the risk feel almost worthwhile. The secret laboratory, EJ's mysterious project unveiled. E.J. DiMera's recent acquisition of the financially struggling university hospital raised eyebrows throughout Salem's business and medical communities, but most observers assumed it was simply another shrewd investment by the ambitious district attorney. However, those working closely on the ISA investigation know better. The purchase was funded through a labyrinthine network of shell corporations and offshore accounts that suggest involvement from international criminal organizations or possibly even hostile foreign powers. Shane Donovan's decades of intelligence experience have taught him to recognize the patterns of money laundering and covert operations, and every instinct tells him that EJ's hospital project represents something far more dangerous than a simple business venture. The construction of Dr. Tom Horton's Memorial Free Clinic seemed like a touching tribute to one of Salem's most beloved physicians, a genuine act of community service that might rehabilitate EJ's often tarnished public image. But behind that noble facade lies something entirely different, a state-of-the-art research laboratory equipped with technology that far exceeds anything a neighborhood free clinic could possibly need. The sophisticated security measures, including biometric scanners, reinforced walls, and encrypted communication systems, suggest that whatever research EJ has planned requires absolute secrecy. Is he developing illegal pharmaceuticals? Creating biological weapons? Conducting unauthorized human experimentation? The ISA needs answers, and Mark Green now holds the key to unlocking those secrets. Mark's impossible position, spy or victim? When Mark nervously entered E.J. DiMera's office to request employment, he had no idea he was walking into a situation that would define the rest of his life. His pitch was humble and straightforward, a disgraced doctor who had lost his medical license but still possessed valuable laboratory skills and research experience, willing to work in any capacity that would allow him to remain connected to the medical field he loved. Initially, E.J.'s reaction was predictably hostile. After all, why would he hire the man who had attempted to murder his beloved brother Chad under Clyde Weston's orders? But something shifted in E.J.'s calculating mind when Mark mentioned his interest in laboratory work and scientific research. Suddenly, the district attorney saw an opportunity. Here was someone desperate enough to accept any conditions, vulnerable enough to control, and qualified enough to be genuinely useful in the secret project. E.J.'s offer came with strict stipulations. Mark must follow all instructions without question, never discuss his work with anyone outside the facility, and sign an ironclad non-disclosure agreement that would destroy him legally if violated. For Mark, these terms were both terrifying and strangely perfect. They provided exactly the cover story he needed for the ISA operation while also revealing just how secretive E.J.'s project truly was. The web tightens. What happens when E.J. discovers the truth? The most chilling aspect of this entire situation is the inevitable moment when E.J. DiMera discovers that his newest laboratory employee is actually an ISA operative feeding information to Shane Donovan and Rafe Hernandez. E.J. is not a man known for forgiveness or mercy, particularly when it comes to betrayal. His vindictive nature and powerful connections make him one of the most dangerous adversaries in Salem, someone who has destroyed enemies far more powerful than a disgraced doctor. When the truth emerges, and in Salem, the truth always emerges. Mark will face consequences that could make his previous prison sentence look like a pleasant vacation. This is precisely why the ISA's reward package had to be so extraordinarily generous. Mark isn't just risking his job or his freedom, he's potentially signing his own death warrant. The ISA understands this completely, which is why they've promised not only immediate rewards like medical license restoration and financial compensation, but also long-term protection through witness relocation programs and ongoing security details. They've essentially promised to give Mark an entirely new life once this mission concludes, assuming he survives long enough to collect on those promises. The bigger picture: why the ISA considers this operation critical. Shane Donovan doesn't deploy assets and risk lives for minor investigations or routine surveillance operations. His decision to recruit Mark Green and offer such substantial rewards indicates that the ISA believes E.J. DiMera's secret laboratory project represents a genuine threat, possibly to national security or international stability. The mysterious funding sources behind the hospital purchase have triggered alarms throughout the intelligence community, suggesting possible connections to organized crime syndicates, terrorist organizations, or hostile foreign governments seeking to establish covert operations on American soil. Whatever EJ is developing or producing in that secured laboratory behind the free clinic facade, it's valuable enough and dangerous enough to justify an elaborate infiltration operation. Mark's scientific background will allow him to understand and document whatever research is being conducted, while his newly installed security clearance, granted reluctantly by EJ, provides access to areas that Kat could never penetrate during her external surveillance efforts. Every piece of data Mark smuggles out to his ISA handlers, every photograph he secretly captures, and every conversation he covertly records brings the investigation closer to exposing what could be one of the most explosive scandals in Salem's history. The stakes have never been higher, the rewards never more tempting, and the dangers never more real. Mark Green stands at the center of it all, a man transformed from convicted criminal to essential intelligence asset, gambling everything on the ISA's promises and his own ability to deceive one of Salem's most cunning operators. The coming weeks will determine whether Mark emerges as a hero who exposed a dangerous conspiracy or becomes another casualty in the endless shadow war between justice and power that defines life in Salem. One thing remains certain: the irrefutable gift the ISA has offered Mark after convincing him to betray E.J. DiMera will either save him or destroy him, and there's no turning back now.